I'm meteorologist Caitlin McGrath, and we are tracking the tropics and tropical storm Helene. Helene officially became named with the 11 o'clock advisory, and as this storm continues to work its way right in between Cuba and Cancun, it is going to strengthen pretty quickly here, passing just to the east of Cancun as a Category 1 hurricane later tonight, and as it continues to move into those really warm Gulf waters, the storm is forecast to rapidly intensify by Thursday morning, a major Category 3 hurricane. Right now, the National Hurricane Center brings that storm onshore in the Florida Panhandle just to the west of the Big Bend as a Category 3 storm, but I would not rule out a major Category 4 hurricane. There really is going to be nothing to slow this storm down here over the next several days. So if you have loved ones in the area right now, that cone of concern starting in the Big Bend of Florida and extending through the Florida Panhandle. That is really the area where you need to have preparations underway. But all of the Gulf Coast of Florida will see impacts from this storm. It's just really where we are expecting that direct impact, where of course the winds will be the highest, the storm surge will be the most significant, and we are expecting the heaviest rain and severe weather. Keep in mind, severe weather, a big threat when it comes to tropical systems like this. The storm will continue to move through Georgia overnight into Friday morning. That's a concern because anytime you get severe weather, those heavy rains, those really strong winds overnight, there's an elevated concern. People need to be aware that before their head hits the pillow Thursday night, they could be dealing with severe weather overnight and potential power outages. That storm sitting right over Atlanta by Friday morning at 8 o'clock, potentially still as a tropical storm with tropical storm force winds. The storm will continue to weaken as it pulls off to the north and west as we head through later Friday night and into Saturday. So we have a number of tropical alerts on the map right now. Tropical storm warnings for areas you see highlighted there in pink. That includes parts of Cuba, the Dominican Republic, parts of Mexico, a hurricane watch in effect for parts of Cancun all the way back into Tampa and into the Big Bend. Those are those areas highlighted there in orange. We also have tropical storm warnings in effect for parts of the Florida Keys. Also watching a tropical storm watch for much of South Florida and back toward Apalachicola. So again, you have time to prepare. The storm still has a few days to go before it starts to really bring in those high impacts to parts of South Florida and the Florida Gulf Coast. But you really do need to make sure you take this storm seriously. It is going to be a major, at least Category 3 hurricane, if not a Category 4. Now, there was a pretty sizable shift off to the west today. A lot of our spaghetti plots pulling that landfall somewhere around the Florida Panhandle. A few still bringing it through the Big Bend. And keep in mind, those spaghetti plots, each line indicates a different potential track for the storm. The closer they are together, the more solid the agreement in the landfall. And that is going to be a landfalling storm, again, likely for the Florida Panhandle. And then again, the storm continues through Georgia, eventually hooks off to the north and west. Now, all eyes will be on Helene over the next several days, but do want to alert you to what will likely become Isaac later this week. An 80% chance this wave of low pressure moving off the coast of Africa becomes our next named storm. Thankfully, this storm looks to stay out over the Atlantic and poses no threat to land, but we'll continue to bring you updates on Helene here over the next several days.